Welcome to WID, helping millions understand the money behind America's biggest stories. Because every dollar has a story, and today we're decoding this one. What if your office isn't just taking 8 hours of your day? What if it's taking thousands of dollars from your wealth? Just think about what happens every single time you commute. You see, remote work isn't simply about staying home in your pajamas. It's actually a quiet lever for long-term wealth building that can fundamentally change where you live, who you can work for, and how much time you have left to build the rest of your life. We so often think of remote work as a perk, right? But it's actually an economic engine. So is working from home genuinely making Americans richer? Well, in this explainer, we're going to uncover the real economics of remote work and show you exactly how you can use the parts that actually benefit you. Part 1. The commute tax. Okay, let's dive into this discovery by looking at the true financial drain of going to a physical building every single day. Now, we all complain about the visible commuting costs, right? The endless tanks of gas, the daily parking garage fees, and those incredibly expensive public transit passes. But there's a hidden layer quietly draining your wallet every single week. Think about the accelerated depreciation on your vehicle from racking up thousands of miles a year in stop-and-go traffic. Or think about the entire wardrobe of professional clothes you have to buy and dry clean, literally just to wear to sit at a desk. And what about those $12 paid lunches because, let's be honest, you were just too exhausted from the commute to meal prep the night before? But the absolute most expensive hidden cost of all, your unpaid commute time. When you multiply these out across 5 days a week for years, the number is just staggering. Honestly, your commute might be the only part of your job where you actually pay to work. But keep in mind, working remotely doesn't just eliminate these costs, it often shifts them. Part 2. The money value of time.
Which brings us to the most emotional part of this whole equation. I want you to ask yourself a question. What is 1 hour of your life actually worth? Because the traditional office commute easily swallows 10 or more hours a week. Just think about that. That's an entire extra workday lost to traffic, highway gridlock, or endless train delays. But when you eliminate that forced travel, you get what economists call recovered time. See, remote work creates wealth not just by cutting your gas bill, but by literally handing you back hours. Hours that you can redirect into getting a full night's sleep, exercising, being fully present with your family, pursuing further education, or maybe finally building that side business you've been dreaming about. Now, working from home obviously doesn't mean working from the couch, even if the couch does submit a very strong application. But it does mean taking back control of your absolute most finite resource, which is your time.
Part 3. The geographic arbitrage advantage. But here's the thing. The biggest financial benefit of remote work isn't the one you're probably thinking about. Here is where your zip code suddenly becomes a major financial decision. It's called geographic arbitrage. Sure, it's a fancy economic term, but the definition is incredibly simple. It means earning an income tied to a high-paying labor market while living in a location with a significantly lower cost of living. So let's say you earn a $100,000 tech salary based out of New York or San Francisco, but you're paying rent in a mid-sized town in Ohio or Texas. The difference in living costs doesn't just save you a few bucks. It can literally accelerate your path to homeownership or early retirement by decades. Freeing yourself from an expensive employment center can completely revolutionize your housing and career opportunities. You are no longer trapped within a 30-mile radius around an office building. However, let's look at the facts objectively here. While you can technically work for employers thousands of miles away, this isn't a magic wand. Remote hiring is still heavily constrained by strict employer policies, highly complex state tax laws, and tricky time zones that make asynchronous collaboration really tough. Oh, and intense global competition. Because now, you aren't just competing with people in your city, you're competing for that job with talented people all over the world. And let's be real, this high demand also drives up housing pressure in those once lower-cost cities. It's a massive opportunity, absolutely, but it definitely requires careful navigation.
Part 4. The dark side of remote work.
But there's a hidden downside nobody really talks about, and it could quietly sabotage your career. The dangers of a fully remote life are incredibly candid. First up, there's professional isolation. When you're just a little square on a screen, you can feel entirely disconnected from the company mission. You also miss out on organic mentoring. You lose those spontaneous water cooler moments where, a 5-minute chat with a veteran in your industry teaches you more than a week of formal training. There are also serious visibility and promotion concerns. I mean, if leadership can't physically see you in the room, do they even think of you for that next step up? Then, without a physical office to leave at 5 p.m., there is a very dangerous blurring of work-life boundaries, which leads straight to overworking and burnout. Ultimately, the best arrangement isn't automatically the one with the fewest office days. It's actually the one offering the best mix of productivity, visibility, and mental well-being.
Part 5. Why hybrid dominates today.
So let's challenge the simplistic remote versus office debate and see what the current 2025 and 2026 data actually shows about the modern workplace. According to recent Gallup research, a massive 52% of remote-capable employees are working in a hybrid setup. That vastly outweighs the 26% who are fully remote and the 22% who are fully on-site. This proves that hybrid work is the dominant reality right now, not just some lingering pandemic-era trend. It's a fundamental, structural shift in how America works.
And the workforce preference perfectly aligns with this data. Gallup reports that 6 in 10 remote-capable employees actively prefer hybrid work. This suggests that the true future of work isn't a rigid battle between remote or office. It's actually about agility. Think about it. What if the ideal scenario is simply having the autonomy to choose the right environment for the specific task you need to accomplish that day? Deep focus work at home, collaborative brainstorming in the office. Part 6. The family and small business shift. Now, let's bring this back to your daily life. For families and entrepreneurs, it's really a tale of two realities. First, there's the flexibility win. Geographic freedom means you can finally afford to live closer to family, significantly easing the logistical nightmare of childcare. Or if you're a small business owner, you're no longer limited to local hires. You can bring on incredible talent globally. But conversely, there is the boundary trap. Let's face it, trying to conduct a highly important Zoom meeting while parenting a toddler is incredibly tough. It can lead to unequal domestic duties and create real remote management challenges for business owners trying to build a cohesive team. Geographic freedom absolutely lowers barriers for small businesses and families, for sure, but it requires intense boundary management and highly deliberate culture building.
Part 7. The remote work wealth strategy.
So, the crucial point is, how do you actually convert this flexibility into tangible wealth? Well, here is your 5-move playbook. Step 1, calculate your true work-related costs. Sit down and do the hard math on exactly what the office is costing you in gas, wear and tear, and food. Step 2, calculate the value of that recovered time. If you get back 10 hours a week, map out exactly how you will use it. Don't just let it vanish into thin air. Step 3, compare your current location with realistic lower-cost alternatives that still offer the lifestyle you want. Step 4, use this flexibility to actually increase your earning power, not just your leisure time. Actively look for those higher-value employers out of state. And Step 5, the absolute most critical step of all, convert those financial benefits into long-term wealth. There's a crucial rule to remember here, guys. If remote work saves you $300 a month, but it simply disappears into lifestyle inflation, the wealth benefit never materializes. Doing nothing with increased flexibility is still an active financial decision. If you save money on gas but then just blow it on extra online shopping, you are completely defeating the purpose of the strategy. You have to capture the savings and intentionally invest them. Part 8. The WID Discovery. Let's move to our final discovery and pull all these economic threads together. Here is the core of what we've discovered today. Remote work isn't automatically cheaper or better. It requires real optimization. Hybrid work remains the dominant economic force in America. Time is a highly valuable economic asset, perhaps your absolute most valuable. Geography drastically alters your financial opportunity. And most importantly, flexibility only builds wealth if you use it intentionally. The real advantage isn't working in your pajamas. It's finally taking control over the economics of your time, your location, and your income. So, if remote work gives you more freedom, what are you doing with that freedom? Because if you don't convert those advantages into something meaningful, then you've really only changed your office. Remember, every dollar has a story, and now you know this one. See you in the next explainer. Now I want to know, tell us in the comments what you do first.
WID, Wealth in Depth. Every dollar has a story.